So good morning from Toronto's Regent Park on this cloudy, overcast June day. It's been very unseasonal this summer. May and June were unseasonably cold. And today I'm going to be traveling through Regent Park to the Church and Wellesley Village for a showing at 30 Gloucester. On the way I'm going to be passing by through Moss Park, through Cabbage Town. It's going to be a really good opportunity for people to see what Toronto, the real Toronto, in my opinion, has to offer. So I'm just going to turn the camera around and show you a bit of a perspective. So Regent Park historically was an area that was created for people that needed to live in subsidized housing. It was all buildings like this one, like 260 Sumac that you are seeing in front of me. But what happened about 10 years ago is the area started to gentrify, and new condos like this started to go up. And as these types of condos started to go up, people had to be relocated from this subsidized housing owned by Toronto Community Housing into other parts of the GTA. Some ended up in areas like Brampton, Mississauga, just other parts of Toronto. So this area has undergone a very substantial gentrification. Like 10, 15 years ago when I was working in the security industry, this was notoriously a dangerous area. It was just like an area you really had to exercise some caution to be in. Regent Park was known for incidents of violence and then things like that, and now it's really transformed into something completely unrecognizable and completely different. And some of these newer buildings that are built, there was a kind of a commitment in place from the builder and from Toronto Community Housing and from the City of Toronto. So some of these newer buildings are Toronto Housing, and some of these new buildings are condos. And there are buildings that even have apparently a hybrid. They've built some community centers. They've really made the area look really nice, but it's just been a very substantial displacement of the people that used to live in this area that had to move out, had to be relocated somewhere else. Their property, a new property was built. By that time, they maybe were not able to return. And so this is what it is. So this is 225 Sumac. It's one of the condo buildings there. So you can see basically, the older Toronto housing style buildings have gone out, and the newer buildings have come in. So join me as I continue to travel westbound towards Yonge and Bloor through the City of Toronto to my final destination at 30 Gloucester, where I'm going to be actually doing a showing for a client. We're going to be looking at a couple of units. It's a co-ownership building, co-ownership condominium, which is a different type of ownership. I'm going to talk about that later. So one of my favorite ways to get around Toronto are these city bikes by Tangerine. So they have electric and they have pedal. Today I'm feeling a little bit lazy, so gonna use the electric bike. Has half a charge, so let's make it happen. So what you do is you scan, you ignore the ad, you allow the camera. There we go. I guess so. And the bike is unlocked. And off we go. Now, I guess what I'm doing is not necessarily the safest, but I'm not riding too fast. These bikes are really cool. Great way to get around the city. The subway system is kind of, the subway system here is okay, but the streetcars and if you have to go somewhere aside from the subway, it can really be something that's hit and miss. So, so here we can see. Kind of see what Regent Park has transformed to and become. So there's a lot of community things here too, but it's quite a contrast area here. You have a kind of a hybrid between newer expensive condos, Toronto housing, people living in poverty, and people living in luxury condos. But I guess that that is the thing about Toronto. It's like you go to one street and it's like multi-million-dollar homes, and then you go to the next street and there's like, you can see a lot of poverty, and some of the other challenges that our city has. So yeah, it's kind of what it's all about. So yeah, approaching Dundas and Parliament. This is the Regent Park Community Health Center. There's a lot of cultural centers here. This is where basically Moss Park starts. So I'm going to do a bit of a drive up Sherbourne, which is the next street after Parliament. I'm going to show a little bit of Moss Park as we continue the journey. Really like these like older style homes that we have in, especially like in downtown Toronto, and some older pockets where, you know, the newer subdivisions that I see, a lot of the homes look very, very similar. Where here it's not the case. I mean, there's a lot more character, if you ask me. So yeah, here you're gonna see, as I'm approaching Sherbourne, there's I forget what the name of this church is, but there are, you know, essentially just like people that are camped out here on a permanent basis. You know, a lot of substance abuse and different challenges here. Yeah. So yeah, this is Sam's Food Store, which is pretty well known in this area. So I docked the bike a little bit early, and I'm just gonna take it on foot the rest of the way. So I docked the bike at Church and Wellesley, and yeah, I'm gonna walk across the rest. It's about a 5-minute walk here. I'm gonna be walking through Church and Wellesley Village, which is, you know, traditionally known as a gay village back in the day. I guess it still kind of is. It is Pride Month, so probably have some nice decorations and stuff up. So that's why I decided to kind of walk the rest of this area of this way. I think it's one of the nicest parts of Toronto. I really like this part of Toronto. As with pretty much anywhere, you know, you can see that the new condos are going up, and then you have some older apartments and older buildings. The building that I'm going to be going today for the showing, 30 Gloucester, so it's a co-ownership building. So it's a different type of ownership. So like in a condo, you would own your unit and you would own a share of the common elements, and you're responsible for that. You have title to your unit. In a co-ownership, you buy into the co-ownership, or into the corporation, I guess, with the other unit owners, and then your unit is assigned to you. Now, I've never kind of heard of somebody being reassigned, as in like being told that you know, they have to move to another unit or something like that, in that type of thing, but it is something to be aware of. There's not a lot of ownership types anymore. Like pretty much everything that's being built now is condos, but yeah, it is something that existed in the 70s. It was quite popular, and because of that, you do get units in really good areas at really good price points, because, you know, the structuring of getting a mortgage on a co-ownership, it's all different. You need a higher down payment. Not every lender is going to lend on it, but yeah, I'm just here in the corner of Church and Wellesley, just about to cross the street. It's a great area with lots of character, and for the most part, with the exception of the occasional new condo here and there, this area has pretty much been unchanged for the last 20-30 years. Yeah. But it does seem like some changes are going to be happening. I see I believe that used to be the beer store, and now it's looks like the parking lot's all boarded up. I'm going to show that in a sec. Looks like that's going to be maybe a condo. Who knows what else it can really be, except for a condo. Yeah, Capital Corp, financing provided by Capital Corp. Yeah. So the beer store is going to be a condo.
How did you get that out? It's a library
So this building here, this is basically beside Barber Hall Park. This is like a community center for homeless youth. Yeah, the 519 Space for Change. So it is, pretty well known. Again, people hang out in that park. There's, unfortunately, a lot of drug use and things like that you see there. One of the things about, pretty much anybody who's moving into this pocket of Toronto is that, especially downtown, especially Yonge and Bloor to Yonge and Queen, and then anything east of there, like you have to kind of be okay with this. So some people maybe will think that something like that is not that family friendly, just because there is a lot of homelessness in like pretty much every park. Like just people have kind of nowhere to go. So this is what they do. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, I guess, one of the things, like if you want to live in downtown Toronto, you have to have a bit of a tolerance towards that. These are here among the Gloucester. These are like little older apartment buildings. I guess eventually they will probably be maybe converted into condos. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of character. This is what I like about Toronto. I feel like these types of buildings really add some character to the city. Not everything looks the same. Very, very cute. Very cute. And these are townhomes here already, so it's not rental buildings. These are all privately owned townhomes. I guess some people are doing restaurants and cafes there. And there's 30 Gloucester. My destination for today. I'm going to do my best to film inside the building, maybe inside some of the units, but I know one of the units is tenanted, so most likely will not be allowed to film in there, nor do I want to. But yeah, we're going to see what happens. I mean, these units are priced between, I think the cheapest is $410 and most expensive is $480. They include parking, so it's quite a bargain when you compare this to other options in the area for ownership. Like if you were to look at a one-bedroom condo with parking in this area, you're looking at least at $550, even with today's kind of slower market. So that's where we're at. I'm outside 30 Gloucester. So I'm outside 30 Gloucester in Toronto's Church and Wellesley village on Gloucester between Yonge and Church. I'm going to be showing a couple of units in this building. As I mentioned, this is a co-ownership, so people can buy like in a condominium, but the ownership type is different. You don't actually own your unit on title. You own a share of the co-ownership, and then your unit is assigned to you. Generally, when somebody's getting financing on a property like this, they would need a bigger down payment. Some traditional lenders also do not lend on it, so make sure that you're communicating with your mortgage broker if you are considering buying a unit in a co-ownership, because as much as you may have a pre-approval on a condo, the terms under which you may be approved to buy a co-ownership are different. And the lender, anyways, I mean, pre-approvals don't really mean all that much, in my opinion, because the lender's not, they're worried about you and your ability to pay, and it's just a general idea, but ultimately it's about the property that they're lending on and securing the loan against. That's what really matters. So I'm gonna go look for some keys, and I'll see you shortly. One of the things that really noticed when I got here is how well maintained the exterior of the building is. Very nice. Very, very nice. So this is actually not that bad. Seems like they have a bit of a lockbox process in place. Sometimes I show up and it's a mess. So I'm just going to be going now one by one and checking the information. So here's one. So there's one. So usually to avoid getting this stuff mixed up, I just take a picture of the keys in the lockbox, and that way later on I can reference, you know, what is for what. So that's what I do. It's a little realtor trick that I use. Let's take a look at the next one here. There's a bottom low with Royal LePage on the front and the back, so I guess that's the one there. Royal LePage. Yep. Got the key. Take a picture. Yeah, off we go. So we have our two sets of keys for two of the showings, and then one of the units is direct access. So the person's going to be home to let us in. So I'm not sure really how much I'm going to be able to film in the units. I think one of the units is empty, so I'll be able to film in there. But as far as the other two, I'm not 100% sure. Check it out. So I'm here in the lobby, and I'm pretty impressed. Check us out. Very nice. Now this building definitely doesn't have central AC, which for some people is a non-starter. But yeah, pretty well maintained lobby. Just gonna go see if I can find some amenities to check out before we get there. Look, there's a couch available immediately. It's a Tai Chi beginner class. Go ahead. Sorry. No.
It's okay.
Yeah. Is there amenities here?
Sorry?
Do you know if there's amenities here? Like a gym and a pool? I have keys.
Gym?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's this way? Okay, I'll find it.
You have fob?
I have fob. Yeah, I'm a real estate agent. I'm here for a showing. I'm just doing a video for my client. Gym is here. Fantastic. Thank you. So this is nice.
Party room there.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, look, it's even a back area here with barbecues. That nice gentleman, I guess he's probably the super, let us in. No, I didn't even need this, it's open. So it's the gym and the party room. So let's check these amenities out. It's called the Gloucester Gate amenity. It is a little bit dark here. So a library there. The gym is here, but where's the lights? Oh, please turn off the lights. Yeah. So this is pretty basic type of condo gym that I see in a lot of older buildings, just some free weights, stuff like that. Like ultimately, I've maybe seen like 2-3 gyms in Toronto condos where, you know, it will replace your Good Life membership. So, you know, when I work with clients and they tell me they're looking for a building with a gym and all this other stuff, it's, you know, I find that it's, you know, it's nice to have these amenities, but it's always a lot better to just have a good unit in a good location. There's a party room here as well. Very nice party room. Nice, clean. I'm very impressed by this building so far. Yeah, so I'm inside the first unit. It's just a small little one bedroom, but you know, by Toronto standards, it's, you know, like looks like it's about 500 square feet, and for this price point, it's a good deal. It has a little closet here. Pretty decent. Again, no central air.
Oh, okay.
Just the bathroom. And I think that probably my favorite part about this unit is this north view. Check that out. And you get a long balcony too as well. It's a beautiful view though. Guess it would be better if it was south facing Lake Ontario, but this is pretty nice. It may become obstructed though at one point. This balcony has lots of bird poop, lots of pigeon poop. There's a vent.
That one, Gloucester neighborhood is behind.
This one is.
Has a 2 I see there, has a 3 I see over there.
This unit is about $50,000 more asking price, but it's kind of renovated. It's renovated. I don't know if I like it though more because the other unit has a higher view, and they also changed the living room to have floor-to-ceiling windows, where here they have kind of this. So.
But so the building is going to be like narrow on this end. Yeah, like right to Isabella.
So we're back. Oh, sorry, Brad.
Oh, it's okay.
No worries. We're back on the 19th floor checking it out again. We just saw the unit underneath, so now this gives us a good perspective of what can potentially be done with this unit. Now, the one thing that I really like about this unit more than the one on the lower floor is that it has the floor-to-ceiling window, so people eliminated kind of that barrier, brick wall, and they put this in. And there's not, you don't have as much bird poop, but also you don't have the bird eggs. It's another unit here. Now this one's on the 6th floor. It's a junior 1-bedroom. And holy smokes, does this have a lot of bird poop. The unit's nice inside, but nobody lives here, and the birds just having a field day. Look at all these flyers. Nice bathroom too. So this unit is 438.
What if we could both live in here? It's cozy.
So that pretty much completes the tour. You know, just I think a takeaway is like if you're looking to live in this area in downtown Toronto, you're looking for a more affordable option. As I mentioned, you know, the financing is a little bit different. Getting a mortgage on a co-ownership is different than a condo, so make sure your mortgage broker is kind of involved in that decision-making process and they know ahead of time that this is what you're planning to do. But overall, this is, I think that somebody with a limited budget, this is an excellent opportunity if you're looking to kind of live in this part of the city, but you're not, you know, just to kind of put it into perspective, like we saw 3 units that are priced in the mid to low 400,000s, and this is the offers anytime price. So this is their kind of like asking price for this unit. So of course you can negotiate. So I guess what I'm getting at is that if you were to look for something as a comparable, like if you were to look for a condo in this area that was comparable to that, you'd probably be paying about $150,000 or $200,000 above that for this. So that's just what I think. Good opportunities. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And as always, if you could like, share, and subscribe, we'd really appreciate that. Thank you.